Hi everybody, welcome to another YDFLive show. My name is Stephen Aitchison, creator of YourDigitalFormula.com, a program to help you live your passion, grow your tribe and build your business. Okay, today I want to talk about the secret to getting shit done. Or my secret to getting shit done. This might not work for you, but hopefully you'll get some kind of food for thought out of this. And this is going to be a short one. So I don't know if I told you, well I think I have told you the story about how I kind of produced an ebook about 7 years ago. And I wrote an ebook about how to become an advanced early riser. And it just came about purely by accident. And really what it was is I kind of emailed my list to say, listen, I'm thinking about writing 10 ebooks, and I had 10 topics to write about. Well, I had 9. And I threw one in at the last minute just to round it up to 10. And the last one that I threw in at the last minute was how to become an early riser. Because I've been doing it for years, practiced it for years, kind of researched it, kind of looked into it when I'd done my psychology degree and everything. And I was really interested in the topic of sleep. Because really, scientists don't know why we sleep, which is incredible. They still don't know why we sleep. They can only surmise that we sleep to give our bodies and brains time to rest and recuperate. So that's a supposition. They don't actually know that for sure. They just surmise that. So that was incredible to me when I was kind of studying it, when I was doing my psychology degree. It was incredible that scientists still didn't know why we went to sleep at night. Obviously, everybody sleeps. Most people sleep. Everybody sleeps at some point. And the effects of kind of not sleeping is kind of well documented as well. We start to kind of hallucinate if we've not slept for about 24, 48 hours. We can start to kind of feel obviously really drowsy and hallucinate and stuff. But I was really interested in the topic of sleep. So I kind of threw that in at the last minute when I was emailing my list and said, okay, what book would you like me to write? And this one came out on top. It got about 57% of the votes. I think there was about 750 votes or something like that, and it got more than half of the votes. So I decided to write the ebook, and I wrote it within 30 days, got it put out there, and it was my first kind of big success with my business online, and it went on to make around $20,000. And it was an ebook with a workbook, a couple of MP3 downloads, etc. And it was a great success, but the site I had it on kind of went down, and there's loads of things kind of happened with it. It was a membership site I used to have. So I never really done anything with it after 2 years of it being online, and I just left it. I never kind of put it out there again, but I still get a ton of emails asking me about the Advanced Early Riser book, and I keep saying, right, okay, I'm going to kind of update it and I'll get it out there again, but I've never ever done it. And I was thinking today, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to kind of update this book and just kind of put it out there. So I've been working on it this morning to get this kind of ebook done and to kind of offer it to you as well. It's not finished yet. The membership area is not finished yet, but I have got a download that you can download just now where I interviewed 9 people, 9 kind of famous people online, like Leo Babauta, Chris Garrett, Maria Goudelis, and people like that back in the day, and they're still really well known online just now. So I interviewed them about kind of becoming an early riser. So I've got that on offer for you just now if you want to sign up for that. But if you do sign up for it, you'll see a link going to the Advanced Early Riser kind of sale for the ebook. But you won't be able to get it today. But if you sign up, you'll get it within a couple of days, because it's going to be finished within a couple of days for you. But that is the secret to my success. It's really becoming an early riser, but not just going to bed early and getting up early. It's about getting by on 5 hours sleep per night and still feeling pretty fantastic, to be honest. And there's a secret to it. There's lots of things that I talk about in the ebook, about kind of getting enough sunlight, about your sleeping environment, about food, about alcohol, about all things like that. But the one thing that we need to make sure of in our sleep is we need to get enough REM sleep. That's rapid eye movement sleep. And this is the stage of sleep whereby we dream. This is a stage of sleep when we're kind of dreaming, and we can remember our dreams if we wake up during this stage of sleep. But most people go through a kind of cycle, which we'll talk about in a second. So with the REM sleep, you need to get enough of that. That's what makes your kind of brain rest. That part of the sleep makes your brain rest. And the delta sleep, which is a deep sleep, is kind of resting and recuperating your kind of bodily functions. Although your body's still working, obviously, as well. But we need to make sure we get enough delta sleep, and we need to also make sure we get enough REM sleep. Now, if you get by on 5 hours sleep per night, and most people are different. Most people kind of usually take between 8 and 10 hours of sleep per night, that they do. But we don't need it. We don't need that amount of sleep. It's only because of a kind of study that was done years ago, and it's a well-cited study saying we need 8 hours of sleep per night. But with experimentation and everything else I've done, and I've kind of read all the kind of documentation of other people doing it as well, I don't know if you've ever heard of something called polyphasic sleep, whereby you can sleep for an hour, then get up and do your thing, then 6 hours later you sleep for another hour, get up, do your thing, and do that. A lot of people, I've tried polyphasic sleep and it didn't work for me. And there's loads of people. Steve Pavlina is a famous kind of polyphasic sleeper, or he was, when he experimented with it for about a year. And he found that he got by extremely well on polyphasic sleeping. And it's just different sleep kind of patterns throughout the day. What worked for me is knowing the cycles of your sleep. So when you know the cycles of your sleep, usually we go around through a 90-minute cycle of sleep. And there's 5 stages to that 90-minute cycle. So the first stage is kind of when you're drowsy and you're kind of just dozing and you're just kind of drifting off. That is kind of high theta, as your brainwave patterns, high theta stage sleep, or low level kind of alpha stage sleep. That's a kind of technical name for it. And everybody goes through this for about 5-10 minutes, and then we drift off into a deeper sleep, and we go into kind of a delta kind of stage of sleep for about 20 minutes. Then we'll come through out of that, maybe go back into alpha, the REM stage of sleep, then go back into delta sleep as well. So we go through a 90-minute cycle of that. And because you get to know your body cycle, or your body clock cycle, you can actually train yourself to wake up maybe after 3 cycles of sleep, which is 270 minutes, which is about 4.5 hours, 5 hours. And most people kind of use an alarm clock to wake themselves up in the morning, which is wrong. Nobody should use an alarm clock to wake themselves up, and I'll tell you why. When you use an alarm clock, your body is not getting into a natural kind of cycle of sleep, and you might wake yourself up in a deep delta stage of sleep. Now, when you do that and the alarm clock wakes you up out of that sleep, you feel groggy, you feel really probably irritable, and you just can't be arsed getting up, and you just want to hit that snooze button again and again and again. That's because the alarm clock has woken you up at a deep stage of sleep. Now, if we train ourselves to get up without an alarm clock, which I've done for the last 15-20 years, if you can actually train yourself. When you train yourself to do that, your body goes into a natural rhythm. As your body's kind of natural rhythm, and it just goes through these 90-minute stages. So it might be that you wake up after 4 sleep stages, which is 4 times 90, 360, which is what, about, I don't even know, 6 hours sleep. So 6 hours sleep you would get from that. Or you might have 5 stages that you go, or 5 sleep cycles that you go through as well, which is 7.5 hours sleep. So you can train your body to get up after 3 of these cycles or 4 of these cycles, still feel fantastic. But you still need more REM sleep to kind of get the brain functioning as it should. And if you take a 15-minute nap in the afternoon, and I mean 15 minutes, I've spoken about this before, but 15-minute nap, that's all you need. You don't go into a deep stage of sleep, you go into what's called an alpha stage of sleep. And that is where you kind of use, you go into REM stage of sleep as well. When you're kind of daydreaming, you start dreaming. You probably found yourself after a couple of minutes, you kind of doze off and you've dreamt something, and then you wake up and you think, geez, I've only been sleeping for 2 minutes, and yet you still managed to dream. That's because you went into an REM stage of sleep. Now, I know I'm giving you tons of information here about sleeping and stuff like that, and there's loads more about it. I just love this topic, talking about it. So that is one of the secrets to getting enough REM sleep, because you get enough delta stage sleep, or the deep sleep that you need during the night, but sometimes we don't get enough REM sleep. And this is where this 15-minute kind of nap, it's a micro nap, I call it. 15 minutes, you go into the REM stage and your brain feels so refreshed after. It's like getting 2 hours of sleep. And that's one of my secrets to getting shit done, to be honest. And meditation is good for that as well, because you go into a very kind of low level alpha stage. You're not actually sleeping, but your brain goes into an alpha brainwave pattern when you're meditating as well. And that's why meditation is so good as well. So I have an app and I meditate as well, so I get loads of kind of REM kind of stage for my brain function, and that's why I can get shit done a lot of the time. And I've done this for years and years, and I keep getting hit with these people saying, oh no, if you don't get 8 hours of sleep per night, you're going to die of a heart attack 20 years before anybody else will. Or you're going to get heart disease, or you're going to get this, or you're going to get that. I don't believe that's true at all. I do not believe in the research kind of proves that you do not need 8 hours of sleep. You can get by on 5 hours sleep. It depends on the person, obviously. Depends on the person as well. Everybody's going to be different. But back then, 7 years ago, that's why I wrote that kind of ebook, How to Become an Advanced Early Riser, getting by on 5 hours sleep per night and feeling fantastic. And that's how I get so much done. But the big, huge benefit for me is in the morning, at 5 o'clock in the morning, there's nobody awake. Obviously, my wife's in bed and the boys are kind of doing their own thing anyway. One of my sons has already moved out, and my other son, he's still sleeping at that time. Even the dog is kind of awake when I'm awake. And my father-in-law, who stays with us, he's still sleeping. So it's deadly quiet in the morning, and I can really focus and get stuff done before anybody gets up. So in 2 hours in the morning, I get a lot more done than most people will throughout the whole day in 2 hours, because I'm super focused and I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing, and I can get a lot of stuff done in 2 hours. And usually that's kind of replying to emails, that's replying to PMs I've got on Facebook, and doing kind of scheduling for Facebook and stuff like that as well. And you get a lot of stuff done because you're on your own, you can focus, there's no interruptions, and it's just a brilliant feeling being able to get up at that time in the morning and nobody is about. So that is a secret to how I get shit done. I'm just going to see if there's any questions. Just now, 1 wee second, I forgot to turn Skype on. So I think Maria will have this for me. It's just a bit slow this morning. So if this resonates with you, give me a few hearts just now. Let me see a few hearts just now. If this kind of resonates with you, if you either get by on 5 hours sleep, or you'd like to get by on 5 hours sleep per night. Okay, we've got a question from Susan Jackman. How do you get up without an alarm clock? Good question, Susan. And with that, I wrote an ebook as well. How to ditch your alarm clock and wake up naturally. With that, what you do, you kind of first you have to train your mind, and it's not going to happen overnight. But you probably found at some time in your life that you wake up 5 minutes before the alarm clock goes off, and then you kind of just go back to sleep, and that's your body kind of getting into that natural kind of cycle. So when you wake up 5 minutes before the alarm clock, what usually happens, you fall back asleep, and then you're falling into a kind of the alpha stage, and you're going into a bit of a deeper sleep at that stage, and then the alarm clock goes off, and then you feel all groggy and irritable and stuff like that. But if you actually got up 5 minutes before the alarm clock, when you first kind of opened your eyes, then you'd feel fantastic, you'd feel brilliant. So you train yourself to get up 5 minutes before, and it can be as simple as, okay, before you go to bed or sleep at night, you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to get up at 5:45 in the morning. The alarm is set for 6, but you tell yourself you're going to get up at 5:45. Your body knows the kind of minutes, the seconds, everything. Your body knows all that, your mind knows that, and it's trained already. We just don't know it's been trained already to kind of count in minutes and seconds and hours, things like that, because we're so used to kind of the 24-hour clock, which is not natural, but we're so used to it now. So your body knows that. So you'll find that you wake up 15 minutes before the alarm clock, and then if you get up, then train yourself to get up as soon as you kind of wake up 15 minutes before the alarm clock or 5 minutes before it. Turn off the alarm clock and go about your day as normal, and then you just kind of change it from there, and that's how you wake up without an alarm clock. Now there's a wee bit more to it than that, but that's basically the gist of it. So I hope that helps, Susan. We can all do it. Anybody can train themselves to get up without an alarm clock. The thing is, people don't trust themselves to wake up without an alarm clock, and that's why when you first turn the alarm clock off and you don't set it, you'll probably find you wake up a few times during the night, just to see if you're on the right schedule for getting up in the morning. But a lot of people don't trust themselves enough to not use the alarm clock, so that's a big thing. Comment from another YDFer, Laurie, Chris and Swanson. It's wonderful to get up at 4 and be alone. It's brilliant. I totally love my morning time, and although I spend a lot of time alone because I'm doing a business and my wife's at work and my son's at work and my father-in-law's out and I've just got Cara, my dog, kind of just lying around. Although I get a lot of alone time, it still feels much different in the morning. There's a different energy in the morning, first thing, when you're up, and it's almost being you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Well, it's not you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. It's like a little secret that you have. It's like a secret time that you have, and nobody's about. There's just a different vibe altogether in the morning. So yeah, it is wonderful being up at that time. A comment from Jan Lemish. I agree, the early morning is a wonderful time to achieve many things. Alas, I am a night owl and find early mornings so hard. I'm a night owl as well. I don't go to sleep until about 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I still get up at 5 o'clock. I love my kind of night time as well, but we usually spend it, I'm talking to Sharon, my wife, at night, and we watch kind of an episode on Netflix or a couple of episodes on Netflix or something of kind of series, because I don't watch TV during the day. So yeah, we go to sleep about 11:30, 12 o'clock and still get up at 5 o'clock. And when I was single, I used to go to bed at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and still managed to get up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I was a kind of night owl, kind of early bird as well. So I know what you mean though. Tiffany Reid, Stephen, what time would you say is the earliest to rise to be most productive in the morning? For me, it's about 4:30, 5 o'clock. That's a good time to get up. If you get up any earlier, as soon as you look at the clock, say it's 3 o'clock or something in the morning, and I know kind of Maria does this sometimes, she gets up really, really early. But if you look at the clock at that time in the morning, your brain and your body and everything psychological kind of looks at it and go, no man, that's way too early to get up and start doing things. There's something about getting up way too early as opposed to getting up at 5 o'clock, which is really early anyway. But I'd say around about 4:30, 5 o'clock would be the ideal time, because psychologically your brain is not saying this is too early, this is just not natural. So that's why I would say 4:30, 5 o'clock. And it's certainly been the case for me, and I know there's a lot of people kind of get up at that time as well. And that's why I've kind of done the interviews for the ebook as well, like Leo Babauta, Chris Garrett, and Maria Goudelis, and Chris Pabs as well. So yeah, that's why I'd run the ebook, just to see what other people did as well. And it's a really good ebook actually, and the link's just above this video if you want to kind of download that. But as I said, after it you'll get sent to another page to say about the early riser. It is available, but it's not totally finished yet, but you will get kind of an email out about it once it is totally finished. Louise Crescent Crow, I write my blogs very early in the morning. I feel like my most creative when I first wake up. Yeah, there seems to be an afternoon slump. So my most creative is in the morning, definitely in the morning, between 5 o'clock and say about 11 o'clock. And then you can plan your day as well. You can plan your day to say, okay, this is when I'm most creative. It might be different for you, and I'm going to get this done. I'm going to write to all the kind of people on emails. I'm going to write a blog post. I'm going to do this. I'm going to kind of make a website, because your brain's functioning at kind of a high level, high beta state, and you can get that stuff done. 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, your brain starts to kind of slow down. You can feel a wee bit tired. And that's just natural for everybody. Anybody that gets even 10 hours sleep will feel that as well. And that's when it's a good time to have a nap. That 15-minute nap that I was talking about. Or if you do meditation in the morning, which I do, that's brilliant time as well to do that. Or you could do meditation at that time in the afternoon, maybe 12 o'clock or something, and your brain will start to wake up again. So if you know your kind of cycle, so if you're most creative in the morning, you're sluggish in the afternoon, and then you're back to doing the kind of normal productive things that you do. So I would do the creative things in the morning. I would do in the afternoon, I would do the things that don't require a lot of brain activity and don't require you to think too much. And then kind of later in the afternoon, you might kind of start to wake up again, and you might kind of schedule phone calls, Skype calls, interviews and stuff like that as well. So you can schedule your day throughout, because you'll get to know when you're most creative, when you're kind of most tired, when you're most at your productive. So it's different stages throughout the day as well. Liza Benita question: a lot of people say sleep during night time is more beneficial and healthier compared to sleeping during the day. How true is it? What about those person working on a night shift? They sleep during daytime. Would that have a great effect on your health? There's been studies done on this, Liza, just to say that people who do kind of night shift, because their whole body is totally out of sync with what normally kind of happens in the world, they say the health benefits are not as good as getting sleep during the night time. We're kind of meant to go to sleep at night. That's what we've been trained for thousands and thousands of years to do. When it starts to get dark, our kind of the melatonin in our body, it's called melatonin, and you get that from sunlight. Vitamin D and kind of melatonin all kind of comes in together. And when you get enough of that, that's when you get a really kind of good night's sleep. And you've got that energy as well. But you find in kind of places like Sweden and places like that, where it's dark a lot of the time, that melatonin is not produced as much, so they don't get as much of the sunlight and the vitamin D. So the sleep patterns are kind of out of sync. So I think it's better sleeping at night. Research has shown it's better sleeping at night in the dark hours as well. With regards to the health benefits, I don't actually know, but you can do polyphasic sleeping as well, where you sleep during the day and you sleep during the night as well. So it's maybe 1 hour during the day, 6 hours later another hour, 6 hours later another hour, so you get the kind of best of both worlds. For me, polyphasic sleeping didn't work, but I tried this years ago when I was single. I couldn't do it now, obviously, with a family and my wife and that, but it didn't work for me back then. I just found I couldn't get into the rhythm of polyphasic sleeping. But I would say experiment. Be your own experimenter. Don't kind of necessarily just look at what science is because, as I said, scientists don't know why we sleep. They still don't have a definitive answer as to why we sleep. They can only surmise that we sleep to rest our bodies, and so we can recuperate our minds, or being creative all the time as well. So, but the real answer is they don't know why we sleep. That's still not been found out for definite. A comment from Dave Moore: I usually hit the sack at 1 a.m. and get up at 5 a.m. I find the morning time to be the most creative for me. No TV, news or newspaper, just coffee. Yeah, just coffee. I can totally relate to that, Dave. But 4 hours sleep. So you must have a cycle then, because some people have cycles, or sleep cycles, of between 80 minutes and 100 minutes. So if you're getting 4 hours sleep, that's 240 minutes of sleep. So that might be you have an 80-minute sleep cycle, which and you're getting 3 80-minute sleep cycles, which is the 240 minutes. Have I got that right? Yeah. So that must be what you're getting as well, which is brilliant. Definitely no TV, definitely no news, nothing like that. I've never read the newspapers anyway, haven't done for 15 odd years. Just don't watch the news, don't listen to the news. If there's anything important going on, I'll find out from other people, and I'll just get a digested version of it as well. It wouldn't be the crap that you get on TV and that you're fed. But coffee is a must for me as well. I love my coffee, although I need to cut back, but I love it too much. So yeah, that was a good comment, Dave. A comment from Lisa Otto: I'm having a hard time figuring out how to manage all of this into a day, holding a typical 9-to-5 job. I'm struggling with it all. I was exactly the same situation, Lisa. When I used to work full time, I only kind of gave up my full time job in 2012. But before then, I was getting up at 4:30 in the morning to work for 2.5 hours before I got the kids up for school, before I got Sharon up. Kind of had a chat with Sharon for breakfast and with the kids, took them to school, maybe took Sharon to work, or I went to work as well. So it was about 2.5 hours in the morning. I managed to get a lot done in that 2.5 hours, so it was extremely productive, and that's how I done the part-time business. And I've done this for years. It must have been 10 years that I've done that for before I gave up the full-time job and done this online full-time. So I totally get where you're coming from, Lisa. It can be a struggle, but there is a way to do it. If you really, really want to do this and you know this is for you, and there is ways to do it. Even kind of cutting back on your hours at work, or kind of asking if you can go on a wee bit later or something like that, and maybe do 10 till 6 instead of 9 till 5. I don't know if that's possible, but there are ways around it. If you truly want to do this, you'll find a way, Lisa. Dave Moore, mine is usually Greek coffee in a breakie. I've never actually tried. I'm just council coffee. I've got Nescafe. Just the plain old kind of Nescafe and 2 sugars and milk. So I'm not a coffee connoisseur by any means at all, just like my kind of cup of coffee in the morning. So you're obviously a bit of a connoisseur, Dave. Laurie Emmett, tea all the way, Maria. Oh, Maria must have made a... Maria Flynn, how many coffee drinkers in the house today? Is asking. So tea for a lot of people. Anne Deals, 2 cups of coffee per day. The rest of the day is lemon water. I drink coffee, have it up for 6 months, but came back to it. I gave it up for 6 months. Kimberly D. Man, Nescafe. I know, I'm just a council coffee drinker. And Darlene Dawn, I'm a coffee drinker. Excellent. So there's a lot of coffee drinkers, but a lot of tea drinkers as well. Lorraine Emmett is saying tea all the way. I've got to have my coffee. Saying Nellie Davis. Yeah, so I think that's it for today. I think we've been on kind of longer than normal. But if you click the link above, you'll get the interviews for the Early Riser, and you'll see the link for the kind of how to become an advanced Early Riser as well. And if you get that just now, we will get that to you within the next 2 days, probably tomorrow. That'll be finished for. Hayden Hatter is saying, notice me. Just noticed you, Hayden. Welcome to the show. Council coffee drinker. Louise Crescent Crow is just laughing. Excellent. So there's a lot of people with coffee drinkers and tea drinkers. Yeah, so we've been on now for 30 minutes, so I'm going to leave it there just now. Something to think about anyway today. Just a wee bit different than normal. And what I'll do is I'll kind of leave links down below for you as well. And hopefully you're going to have a brilliant day and you're going to get a brilliant night's sleep. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Until then, namaste. Take care. Bye now.